The biggest mistake a grower can make if they're thinking about certification is applying a prohibited substance, because that gives you 3 years before you can sell an organic product. To really know if I can use this product or not, I have to contact my certifier. So you really want to choose a certifier early on in the process. So you have someone to go to ask, can I use this product or not?
A lot of mistakes are made in the transition process because growers think that a compost, a fish product, a seaweed product, oh, that's natural. Well, it may be, but if you read the rules and the regulations, which the certifiers can inform you of, if prohibited materials, for example, like sludge, were put into a compost, then that is not approved for use in an organic system plan.
Yeah, I just feel like the landscape for organic growing is really dynamic, and it's often hard to have a perfect awareness of all the materials that are at the disposal of a farmer. When I first went to go certify, I had a formula in my potting soil that I'd used for several years, but of course I was the one that reviewed it, nobody else really did. And we used a pelletized lime. And in retrospect, I should have thought about the potential for that lime having been pelletized through a chemical process, but I didn't. I just assumed that rocks were rocks. We got lucky, and it turned out that it was all done naturally and they were able to interact with the manufacturer. But for me, the lesson was that if you have a question about a material or a product, it's a lot easier to make a phone call, give a certifier a call, ask them at a conference, just ask them if that product is allowed.
When the certifiers ask me for more information, it's good to respond quickly. An issue like the shiitake mushroom wax. When I put in my application, I told them where I was getting my wax from to cover the holes on the log, and they said that wax is not currently approved for organic production. So I went back to the vendor, and he said that yes, it was satisfactory, but not all of the certifiers were accepting their documentation. And so I wrote my certifier back about that, and they said, yes, well, we're one of the certifiers that's not accepting that documentation. And then a month or so later, I got an email that they had worked it out. They had discovered that, yes, the wax was in compliance. So it's this process of communication. So rather than throw up my hands and say, there's no way I can work with this, I communicated with my vendor, with my certifying agency, and they worked it out and found that yes, it was okay.
So I think record keeping under the prior system, documentation of the prior system, that's a pitfall if that's lacking. Sometimes someone will just start farming organic for a period of months or maybe even years, and they really didn't write down or document when that began and how they made a clean break from the prior system. So then when they go to their certifier to seek certification, they have a lot of difficulty proving what date they should actually begin with. You need an affidavit, you need some type of proof of when that last prohibited input was applied, because that will be the date that then anchors your conversion process for 36 months later. If you're an organic farmer and that's all you do, but you have conventional neighbors around you, you're going to have to communicate to them either by letter or by signs of your new operation. You're going to have to take steps to try to minimize any drift from their operations as best as you can. And then again, showing your certifier that once again, you're maintaining the integrity of the National Organic Program.